All right, guys, so we got to talk about a woke stripper today that is running for Congress. Yes, that's right. She's trying to ride the pole all the way to Washington, D.C. to represent the people, okay? And this person has branded herself as basically the AOC of strippers, okay? Just like, AOC, she was a bartender, okay? And now, she's in Congress, right? She's trying to brand herself as, hey, I'm a working class American. I'm a regular person that is going to Congress, okay? And I actually want to clarify this. Because sometimes, we make fun of AOC and, her background and whatnot. But, I don't have an issue with working class people, running for Congress. I think more working class people with regular jobs, should run for Congress, okay? Because they have a better understanding of what working class people are going through than these elitist politicians that go to Ivy League universities, okay? So with that being said, I should probably stop making fun of AOC and her background. I just don't like her policies, right? And I don't like what she advocates for. And there's a whole lot of things I just don't like about her. But with that being said, I probably should stop, making fun of her background because, I do actually want more working class people to be in Congress, right? So again, look, here's the thing. She's a stripper. It is what it is. But my main issue with her is not necessarily what she did in the past, okay, to pay the bills. It's more about her policies, okay, and her positions and why she's running. And apparently, a part of the reason why she's running is for wokeness, right? Because allegedly, she feels guilty about what her ancestors did in the past. And that is what is motivating her to run. Now, I want you guys to stomach the next 2 minutes of her campaign ad to get a gist of why she's running for Congress. Take a look.
I never thought to run for a political office. I'm a researcher and a soccer coach, an advocate and an organizer. But as I've watched jobs slip from people's grasp, houses seized, bankruptcies filed, and the next meal become a question, I realized there's no more time to wait for change. I don't come from money or a powerful family. My parents are both educators, and I grew up alongside a twin brother who struggled with a learning disability in a world that was not meant to see him succeed. I've waited tables, struggled with student debt, and put the work in to become a survivor, not a victim, of sexual assault. My vision for America is grounded in our humanity, to be a country that values both inclusivity and diversity and seeks to restore and rehabilitate rather than punish and penalize. Working within the realm of public health, I've seen families struggle with poverty, with drug addiction, homelessness, a lack of health care, and a lack of mental health support. We need a representative who stands by the needs of the people and champions real change. My opponent campaigned on universal health care, yet failed to vote for Medicare for all. He played a key role in the shifting landscape of education in Philadelphia, setting up charter schools that took voice away from educators and parents and led to further segregation within our school system. He has a history of voting on behalf of his corporate donors funding his campaign, but we need a representative who cannot be bought and works only to serve the needs of our people. We need to reinvest in education and give power back to teachers and parents, provide universal childcare, support the Green New Deal, increase the minimum wage, pass Medicare for all, and fight for criminal justice reform. I'm running for Congress not only to answer to the cries of our children, but to amend for the transgressions of my ancestors. It's time to invest in America's true potential and build the world we all want to be a part of. My name is Alexandra Hunt, and I'm running for the 3rd congressional seat of Pennsylvania to take our struggle, our ideas, and our fight all the way to Washington.
All right, guys. So as you can see, this ex-stripper is woke, right? She's running to amend for the transgressions of her ancestors, okay? She's running on white guilt, right? So, yeah, this person basically copy and pasted AOC when it came to her own campaign, right? So much so that, they almost have the same first name. This woman's name is Alexandra, right? Very close to Alexandria, right? But we're going to get into the nitty gritty here and talk about what this person actually stands for, what they actually want for the American people. As apparently this person, just like AOC, is also soft on crime. So let's read here about the specifics. Quote, good luck pulling this one off. An ex-stripper from New York left behind her platform shoes for a political platform running for Congress in Philadelphia's troubled 3rd District. Alexandra Hunt, 28, stripped during college to pay the bills, she wrote recently in Daily Kos. And not only is she unapologetic about her former career, she has made it part of her campaign message. Her campaign website offers t-shirts reading, I may have danced for money, but I'm no corporate whore, and elect hoes. Bruh. See, this is the problem, okay? See, here's the thing. I want to be libertarian on some of these issues, right? I have a soft spot for non-violent stuff, okay? Things that are truly non-violent and victimless, right? But here's the thing, man. What I can't get behind is the promotion of it, right? It's one thing to say, hey, you know what? I stripped in the past. Don't judge me for that. I'm an everyday working class girl. You know, that's a legitimate whatever, right? If you believe it that way. I mean, it doesn't mean that people have to respect it, but if you think it's a legitimate career and that's work, that's fine, right? Whatever. But what these people do is that they're over the top with it, where they start to now promote it as something that, you know, it should be normalized, okay? And there's just some things in our society that should just not be normalized. You shouldn't necessarily be thrown in a cage for it, but we shouldn't normalize it, right? And you can't be out here running on elect hoes, right? Like, what type of message does that send? What type of message does that send? What two consenting adults do between each other, it ain't really any of my business, right? To be quite honest with you. And I don't think people should be thrown in a cage for it. But at the same time, again, there's a difference between that and saying, hey, you know what, maybe we should keep this, you know, not in the public light, right? And just flat out promoting it, saying, no, we need to be electing hoes. Right? Like, what? Like, what is going on? It reminds me of the guy that made a campaign ad of him smoking weed. Right? And I'm like, okay, dude, I think a lot of people do agree that weed should be legal, but I think there's a difference between that than saying, hey, let's openly promote people smoking weed in a campaign ad, like politicians getting hot, right? I don't think people should be promoting that, right? I don't think you should be promoting that. Again, I don't think you should be thrown in a cage for it, but I'm just saying, you shouldn't be out here openly rewarding this and encouraging this type of behavior. She used to fear the age-old stigma attached to sex work and said she was fired as a girls soccer coach when the team found out. But now she's spouting about it from the rooftops in hopes to decriminalize sex work. Quote, my involvement in sex work was very dangerous. If I had gone missing like so many sex workers do, no one would have known how or where to find me. I began speaking about sex work and my personal involvement in the industry on the campaign trail, she wrote. Okay, so if you know how dangerous it is, why are you running on elect hoes, right? Why are you out here encouraging this dangerous behavior? I don't understand. Right? I don't understand. The young leftists have described having an abortion and suffering sexual assault on social media. The fan of Representative Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is seeking office in a mostly black, strong Democratic congressional district represented by Democratic Representative Dwight Evans, a Philly native, who in the 1990s pushed the city to adopt New York's tough on crime, broken windows tactics, even bringing the former NYPD Commissioner Bill Branton to consult. Okay. So, first of all, she's trying to run against a black man, right, in a mostly black district. And that explains why she's saying that she's running to amend the transgressions and the wrongs of her ancestors, right? She's like, I got to figure out how to get black people to vote for me, okay? I think that's a part of it. And I also think that's the reason why she's running on this campaign of, like, elect hoes. Because, again, there's this idea that, oh, this is what black people respond to, right? They respond to, overtly sexually explicit things and messaging, right? That's why, the Democrats, ran a campaign ad talking about get your booty to the polls, right? Featuring strippers trying to, again, convince black men to vote, right? This is what they think black people respond to. Black people respond to sex, drugs, things like that, okay? All types of, behaviors that, shouldn't necessarily be promoted, right? Yeah, this is par for the course. And no surprises, right? In my opinion, the people that are promoting this stuff are the white progressives, right? They're the ones that's promoting it. Okay, so hey, look, you shouldn't be surprised here, right? You shouldn't be surprised what's going on here. Robberies are up 36% in this district. A total 2,073 shootings were reported in the last year, a 2.3% increase with 1,171 victims. Hunt supports significantly reducing the prison population through compassionate release and an end to cash bail, among other lefty planks in her campaign platform. Okay, so here's the thing, right? This person's district is mostly black. But again, when you look at her policies, she's openly promoting behaviors that I wouldn't necessarily say are beneficial to black people socially. But then she's also advocating for policies like, I don't know, letting violent criminals out of prison and back into these communities. Okay? That's what she's advocating for. Which is the same thing that Rashida Tlaib advocates for, AOC advocates for. Right? Because she's trying to be compassionate. Okay? And she wants to end cash bail. I've done 1,000 videos on the negative consequences of that policy, right? Letting criminals out of jail on no bail, okay? Or setting extremely low bails for crimes that are violent, okay? In which a lot of people just go out while they're out on bail and commit more felonies and violent crimes, right? Sometimes murdering people, okay? We've talked about that thoroughly on this channel. And here we are, another progressive politician advocating for those things. But hey, you know, I'm running to amend the transgressions of my ancestors, right? You gonna vote for me, okay? And elect hoes, right? You gonna vote for me, right? That, again, progressives, man, progressives, right? They're so progressive that they are regressive, right? That's kind of how this works. Quote, in neighborhoods with rising violence, tougher policing isn't the answer, she tweeted recently. It's backwards thinking to punish needs-based crimes instead of moving to meet the need. Oh, that's a new one, right? That's a new woke term I ain't never heard before. Need-based crimes, aka theft, right? Robbery, right? According to these people, that's a need-based crime. Well, he needed to rob somebody at gunpoint because he was hungry, right? He was hungry, so he needed to rob somebody. In some cases, kill him to get food, right? What else did you expect that person to do? Right? Oh my God, this is embarrassing. It really is. Again, this has nothing to do with her being a stripper. I want people to understand that. Most of what I'm saying has nothing to do with her being a stripper as much as it has to do with the things that she's advocating for here. Hunt grew up in upstate Rochester, has criticized represented evidence, personal investments in weapons and energy companies, which she tweeted are screaming corruption and special interests. All right, so this is one of her shirts. I may have danced for money, but I'm no corporate whore. Man. Hey, it is what it is, man. This is also capitalism. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. She graduated from the University of Richmond in 2014, then moved to Philly, where she completed master's degrees at Drexel and Temple Universities. She has up to $150,000 outstanding in student loans, according to financial disclosure, and supports their cancellation. Okay, yeah. So, she went to school, right? And accumulated debt, okay, to get some useless degrees, right, that she's probably not using, okay, and now she can't pay it off, and she wants the American people to pay for her bad decisions. Again, typical progressive left. Apparently, stripping didn't help her pay off these student loans, right? She wasn't making that much money in what she was doing, okay? She wasn't getting rained on enough, right? So, I mean, again, this is standard lefty right here. Quote, despite the generous financial aid package the University of Richmond provided, I was actually too poor for them. Hunt wrote in Ballotpedia candidate survey, I graduated in 3 years to save money, even despite working 2 jobs as a server and a stripper to meet ends meet. Hunt and Representative Evans' campaigns didn't return requests for comment. Again, I wonder what her degree is in, right? Did you go and get an education, right, and a degree in something that's actually going to allow you to pay back those student loans? Okay, that's something that she should have thought about before she went to school. But again, that's like a bigger conversation, because I don't think that 18-year-olds should be pressured to go to college at 18 not knowing what they actually want to do, right? I think it's actually healthy for 18-year-olds maybe to take some time to work, okay, actually experience real life, think about what they really want to do before they go to college. So that's one of the things that I think is a cultural problem, and I think that does also contribute to the student loan thing, is pushing young people who don't know what they want to do to go to college, to take out debt, right, to get a degree when they, again, don't know what they want to do. They don't know how they're going to pay it off. That's a bigger conversation. But in reference to this politician right here, this is 2022, right? Is anybody surprised, okay, to see an ex-stripper running for Congress, okay, and campaigning in this way, right? A lot of these people simply campaigning in ways that are going to allow them to go viral. So I get it from a certain perspective. I get it from a marketing perspective. But again, when you look at some of the policies and things she's advocating for and that she's promoting, she definitely wouldn't get my vote. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.